Alrighty guys, so welcome to your second injury prevention circuit. So for those that have already been here, you will have completed a similar one to this last week. However, if it is your first time completing this, we're basically trying to look at key areas of the body that aren't hit when we usually train on the footy field that are injury prone, okay? So we look at our hips, hamstrings, groins, and the ankle complex, and looking to just create more of a robust and full athlete that's going to be more resilient to injury over time. So that's all these exercises aim to do. So we're going to take you through this circuit. Again, it's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest, and you'll repeat it twice before moving on to the next exercise. These will all be listed on your Train Heroic page, so just have a look in the comments below. So the first one we've got is a toe raise. With this one here, following this from the knees over toes, guys. So basically, all we're going to do is lean against the wall. We're going to try and flex our quad to close the knee joint. And then from here, we're going to try and pull our toes back as high as we can, okay? Now this might feel a little bit awkward to begin with. Play around with your position. You might need to come higher up. And we're just trying to feel this through the front of that tib there, okay? So you might need to come a little bit lower, make it a little bit harder, totally up to you, okay? Should feel a nice burn towards the end of that movement, right through the front of the shin, okay? From there, we're then gonna move on to our single leg glute bridge holds, and we're gonna add a band so we can get some hip flexion as well. So, popping the band around our toes, you don't need anything heavy. If you don't have a band, head down to Kmart, they're about $8. I suggest you get some. And so from here, we're just going to be driving down through our heel, squeezing the glutes so that we're engaged, and then we're going to bring that knee up as high as we can to about that 90-degree level. We're then just going to sit here and hold for the 45 seconds, and then we would obviously switch over the legs, okay? Next one we've got is your single leg calf raises. So we've done these already in your program, so you should be fairly confident with them. If you need to hold on to something from the side, please do. All we're trying to do is come all the way up on the toe, nice and controlled on the way back down. Imagine you've got something underneath that heel, don't want to hit the ground, okay? Don't want to squish the heel down. So all the way up, full range, nice and slow on the way down. Just match whatever you get on one side, on the other side when you get to it. Next one we've got is your groin squeeze. So either using a yoga block, a med ball, or a foam roller, okay? So with this one here, we're going to start at the 45 degrees, and we're just gonna focus about squeezing in as hard as we can and holding. If you can't squeeze for the full amount of the time, you can do just little pulses, relax, pulse, until you work up to the full 20 seconds. From there, in the second block or the second lot of 20, you're going to come up to 90 degrees and now train it in a shortened position. So from here, it should be a lot harder. Same thing, trying to squeeze in as hard as we can and holding for that 20 seconds, okay? Again, doesn't matter what you squeeze, just make sure you've got something in between your knees. Next one we've got is your ITY. So these can be done with a band and or ring rows. I'll show the ring row variation at a later date, but for now we're just going to go with the bands. So from here, tension in the band, nice and light. This shouldn't feel like a resistance-based exercise in a way that it shouldn't feel like it's a struggle to get it overhead. It should just be nice and flowy, nice and groovy. So hands in front of you, we're going to come out like an I. We're then going to come back down, reset to the middle, out like a T, and then out like a Y. So I'll repeat that again. We're going to go I, up to the top, T to the side, and then Y, okay? Just making sure that we're getting full range, nice and slow and controlled, and we're squeezing right back, okay? Next one you've got is penguins or heel touches. So with this one, we're back down on our mat. Feet are going to be in nice and close together. We're going to raise our upper back off the ground, and then we're going to laterally flex to try and touch our heels, okay? If you want to make it harder, bring your heels further away, or it will require more of a stretch and a flex, okay? So from here, we're just going to keep a nice gradual pace for the 20 seconds, okay? Warming up that core, external obliques, before we get into your next movement. And our lucky last one is our hanging leg raises, okay? So two variations here. You can either bring the knees up or the feet up, okay? When we grab onto the bar, it doesn't matter if you want to go narrow or wide grip, but when we hang, we always want to engage our lats, so shoulders are back and down. From here, you can either raise the knees up as high as you can, nice and slowly, or a bit more advanced, raising the feet out as well, okay? Just going to try and tuck the pelvis right up underneath, all the way to the top of the chest. Quite challenging, and that's your injury prevention circuit.